Yeah, it's time to crank that shit. Believe it or not, I've been always this. I am this always. I am this. Please take into account that I am this tomorrow and today and tomorrow. I am this. I'm just this guy. Um and this is just a front for a different organization. This that you see, that it's actually just a facade, this podcast, for something deeper. There's a cartel involved. I'm a cartel. And this actually is just a front for, and I have to put on this podcast because of all the money I make through it in order to, because it's a front and because I filter, you know, um, because it's a, because it's a, because it's a, so do you know about celebrities? Do you know about the way that they are? There's been a lot of talk about celebrities in the past 2 years, with the decline of Hollywood, mostly with the decline of Hollywood, like the decline of its authority and power to say what an entertainer is, what a performer is, because Hollywood is like the performance capital of the world. And like the performance capital of all civilizations is America. America is like the mecca of performance as far as what civilizations that the world has produced. Like Los Angeles, performance capital, that's where you go to perform. Besides that, we have Nashville, and we have the guitar as a symbol. We have the guitar as a symbol to us. For the guitar is a symbol of performance. It's an important performance like symbol. Like, what do you think of when you think of Nashville? You think of a guy in a cowboy hat, and then you think of a guitar. And those are the two things that, at least two of the main things that compose what Nashville is. But I'm saying Los Angeles, like, that's the place for the last 80 to 100 years that you go to perform. Like, people travel to Los Angeles because that's where you go to be a performer. And like the past century, like the time that from 1939 with like Gone with the Wind and Casablanca to 2010 or so was the time period in which humans valued cinema and like valued acting and performance the most, and as far as the timeline of all of humanity is concerned. And that's what we valued at that time, and Hollywood encapsulates that and is like the symbol of that, and that location is reflective of that time period, like that 70 years when like that method of performance was the most valuable. But like you can say that lots of things are performance, but like I think it points to that America is ultimately artistic because we value performance so much, and it is our art and our entertainment. It's our entertainment that influences the world so much, like as far as entertainment that influences the world. And I know that there are other countries with competing entertainments, but like we're the first ones. And like as far as comedy is concerned, it's pretty much just the USA and Britain, and those are the two competing comedies, but those are both forms of entertainment. Like America leads the way in comedy. You can like, people like British comedy more than American comedy, but generally you're a nerd if you do. Like that's mostly what it comes down to. You're nerdy if you like British comedy more than American comedy as it stands now, because there's something more scientific about British people, because British people just know things. They hold to that they already know. Like we already know, like they're like, we already know. I don't exactly know what I'm saying. They just kind of like, there's an element of just knowledge and rationality to they themselves, to British people, like rationality and above you-ness, because they know. British people already know things. They already know about you, not you, but like they just hold to that they are more like scientifically inclined and knowledgeable. like and so at the point that science doesn't really intersect with art, so there's a scientific element to British comedy, and like uh like it's more like rational and like politically based sometimes, like critical, clever, discerning political humor, like well crafted political speech humor is British. And so I would say that that is not as high in art form as just art that doesn't involve rationality, which is American art. I'd say America leads the way as far as art is concerned, and just by nature of the fact that it is our, like, it's the movies, the like Hollywood is what influences, is like the leader in cinema, and we're like the music industry in America is the leader in like popular music, popular music, but that it is popular is an important part of it, but that it's popular as opposed to like nuanced and for a particular audience. Like Japanese music or Indian music is just for like Indian music, with all the like Indian music, the country of India is more like people singing and dancing, like as it stands right now, as far as they've made it in music. Not that they're like progressing towards making music that's more popular, and as far as the world is concerned, like America makes music that's popular for the entire world. Other countries don't make music that's popular for the entire world, and so that's why we would be like a leading artist, but being popular is an important part of it. Like that you make the popular stuff, because it is pop music that is fake and false and artistic. It's pop, like popular music, but pretty much every, like, ultimately, like popular rock music is pop music. Like the Rolling Stones were pop music in the 60s. The Beatles were like pop music because they were popular, because that's what it stands for. But like now, but pop music, I know that pop music is just like sugary, but like it's sugary, and but I think ultimately you would want to classify it as for everybody is what defines pop music. So like it's kind of America that creates pop music and popular culture, but that influences the entire world, being as that it is not other countries that make primarily the music that is popular to the entire world. Like as it stands right now, people in India, they make Indian music, and it's like they'll have music videos of like just it's a man and a woman, and like the man has the masculine team of man dancers and the woman has the feminine team of feminine dancers, and they're just like signing off on each other back and forth. Like that's what Indian music is. They're like, they both have their own jive, and it's just like a masculine feminine thing, Indian music. But it's not like popular over here, or probably not popular to anybody besides like India and the surrounding areas. Like maybe it's popular in China. Like everything, like a lot of stuff that Americans produce is like big in Japan or big in China or big in like Chinese music generally isn't big here. Like we have come to a time now where information is distributed, like cultures are able to share themselves more easily to everybody. And so there are Japanese songs now that are popular to Americans, and like Chinese songs that we can see that are popular to Americans. And Japan is like one of the leading cultures, like of entertainment that they distribute, and their cultural translation of themselves. Like Japan is one of the leaders of that, because seeing as that like Japanese and Korean film and music is so big over here, but it took a little bit for it to be big over here. But I would say that Japan is one of the first cultures that that influences the entire world. Like Japan also influences the entire world through their culture. There's only a couple that do that, but like America leads the way as far as entertainment is concerned. And you go to Hollywood to be a performer, and like the mystique of the prestigiousness and authority given to Hollywood to tell what a performer is the most prestigious authority that everybody has objectively agreed upon. And so like we give celebrities a certain status that they are. We give celebrities a certain status that they are a celebrity, And let me take a drink of a coffee. Amia, drink. I don't want to embarrass myself. Prevent me from embarrassing myself this time, please, to myself. Just drink your coffee and move on. Okay, I will. No, like, don't ramble on about nothing this time. Okay, I will. Did you hear that multiplication division podcast that you did? Did you listen to that? You know that was incomprehensible gibberish, as Norm Macdonald would say? Yes, I know that. I know. I'm sorry, myself. I'm sorry for not doing it perfectly. Okay, just drink your coffee and move on. All right. And it's been a while since I could hold myself up high. And it's been a while since I could say I wasn't addicted, yeah. And it's been a while since I could hold my head up high. And it's been a while since I could. Do you know about there's like I live in an apartment. Like I live in an apartment. People can hear me. Christ. Anyway, did you know that I'm just a guy in an apartment? Also, did you know that I'm just in a single bedroom apartment and living inside of it? And that as it stands, I'm just in one of the apartments, and other people are in the apartments around me. It's 3 floors. I'm on the 2nd floor. Do you know how surrounded I am by other people being alive? Do you know how much people are just being a person around me and me myself? How much that is part of my life, just doing actions and living. Skeeta-da-deet. Please and thank you. All right, let me respect myself enough to deliver the point that I'm trying to make. Here we go. And so, like, celebrities, we valued. I'm talking about like 1940s to 2015 or whatever, as long as Hollywood. But like in the last couple of years, we've had this interesting phenomenon that we've got to pontificate on and explain to ourselves and gather on, like comment on. Everybody is just commenting on everybody else's actions, and that's what the popular culture is now. It's just everybody tweeting about everybody else's actions at a much faster and efficient rate than ever before. It's people making YouTube videos about stupid things that other people did. Like, what would the world do without Logan Paul? What would the world do without Logan Paul? Because there's all these people that are just like, that their YouTube channel is launched based on some nuanced take that they have on something stupid that Logan Paul did. Like, you better thank him for like some of these people just have their careers, like, or it's an important part of what they did, or at least they made one video that made a ton of money saying that Logan Paul did something stupid. Like, thank God there's him to do exactly all the worst things. Like, how awful is this guy? But also, there's people need him around to comment on in order for entertainment to continue on. Like, he's exactly the fodder we need at this time, like in at least the last few years, because that is the popular culture anyway. So like, but entertainment is that it's like YouTube videos now, and because of that, because everybody is from their homes making themselves their own brand and being Instagram models and having Twitters. People are Instagram models and having Twitters. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I interpret it, it looks like people are having Twitters, and that's what I understand the world to be. There's people having Twitters. Speak not. There are people having Twitters. I do not lie to you. But so people are making their own brand, everybody where they are, and they're having people meet them at themselves, and people are just sharing their own life as they are. And so there isn't much in the way of being a celebrity anymore, and there isn't really the value in being a celebrity. And because of that, because of the way that technology has developed, celebrities aren't what they were. And so we've got to witness the decline of that, and it's like a interesting phenomenon, being as that we were under the jurisdiction of Hollywood and the idea of celebrity for a long time, like my entire life up until 2015. We were like, celebrities are people that you look to, that they're like leaders in a certain way. They are leaders. Like a celebrity by definition would be a leader, because it's somebody that you've given authority to be an influencer, like a celebrity. And we still have celebrities, like people have YouTube channels, and those are the celebrities now. People who have lots of followers on Instagram are the celebrities now, and they're still celebrities. It just carries on at a more diversified level than it used to. It used to be that celebrities had a much greater share of the market, each individual celebrity had a greater percentage of the influence, or the greater percentage of what we in American culture deem to be a leader, and somebody that we would look to as some sort of influencer. Like, influence was given to fewer people, and so a greater percentage of influence was given to the people that were deemed celebrities before, but now it is a lesser percent that is given to somebody who is a celebrity now per celebrity. It's a lesser percent, because there's a lot more celebrities. There were fewer celebrities before, and so we would, as people, connect ourselves through people more readily. Like, it was easier to be unified in liking a celebrity before, it was easier to have a greater amount of people united behind liking a celebrity before, because there were fewer celebrities before. But it is the idea celebrity that's declined, and leads to this interesting phenomenon of us saying that Hollywood is declining. Yeah, so anyway, so it's so celebrity has declined, but it's declined just to be at a different, we accept it and understand it at a different level than we used to. And so what you see then is that we have celebrities, and they are trying to adapt to the world as it stands now, but and it stands differently. Besides that, it's declined in a certain way because movies, it's the same way with movies as it is with celebrities, with there being market share. Like, you used to have big productions, and it would be a big thing when it used to be a bigger thing when a movie was launched, because you had to go to a theater. Like, you had to spend time, a lot of time and energy had to be put into a movie, and it was a big production, and it was people in Hollywood that were given the authority of being the people that made the best movies. But with the internet, everybody can make a movie, and lots of stuff is available, and we're pretty much going towards a time, we move more and more towards a time when, as long as you're making a movie or making some form of art, it can be seen. You can make it be seen as long as you're willing to take the time to create something. So if you're inclined to being an artist, now is the time. You don't have to do anything in order to make a movie or make a podcast for it to be seen. You just have to do it. But and more and more arrive at a time when you are just either a producer of content or you're a consumer of content. And if you're a producer of content, I think eventually people will consume it. Because people have to consume it if you're just a consumer, because there's so much entertainment consumption. There's so much, there were all these movies growing up that I had never seen, and all these shows that I had never seen, and I always wanted to have HBO so I could watch all the best movies and best shows. But now you can just watch everything that's ever been made, and so now it's to the point for me that there's literally nothing I want to watch, because I have gotten to the point where I've consumed it all. There aren't barriers to entry for me consuming it anymore. And so because there aren't barriers to entry, somebody's going to gravitate towards your content. if you decide to create it at all, maybe it's not so much that way now, but I think time goes on, like like everything just gets consumed, like just the fact that music is entirely available, like through Spotify. Every single artist that's ever made music is available, like, and people now gravitate towards, like, just through the related artists. Like Spotify is a really great network setup for you to find music that you like, but like just through you looking at one artist and then going to the related artists, you, like, all these artists are unearthed that were passed on, like in the 2000s, like 2006. Like there's this band, what are they called? Let me look that up, because let me look up the example I'm thinking of. But I don't need to look it up. It's just this band that made alternative music that was like not in accordance with a lot of people's tastes, like not really popular music, but it aged well. Like there's bands, like rock bands from the 90s and 2000s that we now realize we can look at all of them and hear their music and say that they're good, when in like the 90s or 2000s they weren't making anything to us that was interesting or popular. But you figure out who they are, like eventually their content gets consumed because we're consuming all the content. Like eventually people find it because all of the content is available. Like the internet finds you out, Reddit. Like if you stand out at all, the internet finds you out, like through Reddit. Like there's any weird YouTube channel, like there's YouTube channels just making videos about weird YouTube channels that have been found that are like mysterious and don't make any sense, that just make like horror, like videos that would be considered horror, besides that it was somebody's actual creation or content. Like, and Reddit finds YouTube channels that are weird and bizarre and mysterious and confusing, that like, oh, why did they produce this? Because they stand out. Like the internet finds stuff that stands out, if it does stand out at all, or is interesting or valuable in any way. But so now there's all this about, and so like celebrities, with the decline of celebrities, they have to adapt to the culture as it stands now, and they're used to being celebrities. They're used to they're used to being what they are. And some celebrities are more inclined to just being themselves as a celebrity, themselves as the character that's been built and constructed about them collectively by the nation. Like some people more give into the identity that's been built into them by other people, but some celebrities know themselves to be themselves, and therefore and most comedians are people that just know themselves to be themselves. Like they're outside of just considering themselves as a celebrity, and so that gives them the liberty to be themselves. But there are some famous people, like the people who were celebrities from Hollywood, people in movies or whatever, celebrities like from before, from like the era when we accepted Hollywood content the way that we did, whatever. Some of them can't get past understanding themselves to just be the celebrity, or like the identity given to them by other people. And like, so Madonna recently made this video of herself at her home singing into a hairbrush about that she's out of fried fish, to try to relate to people, like that she's quarantined and whatever. And like, that's just like what you sing about, that you're out of fried fish. But whoa, someone just screamed really loud in the woods. There's woods outside my apartment. Like I think somebody just got murdered in the woods outside my apartment, in the apartment that I live in. That's good, because I was getting anxious. I get anxious about what I'm saying. I get built up, like, oh, I have to communicate the point. I need to be patient. I need to be patient rather than get anxious about the point I'm saying. Like, so Madonna is a perfect example of somebody who can't escape from that she's just Madonna, but that's because her celebrity is built on her being like a product of the music industry. Like Madonna is not really a person. That's just, and she doesn't write her own songs. Like she's just a manufacturing of the music industry. She's just a product. Like she is built to be constructed as an acceptable identity to the populace. Madonna was, so of course she's going to have trouble relating to people, so she'll do weird things. And also just like, that's really immature to, like, if you watch the video you would just understand that it was immature. I don't really need to explain that. It's just like what the exact way that she delivered it and whatever is just like an immature thing. But she now has to adapt to celebrity as celebrity is translated in the year 2020, meaning that she has to, through her social media, she has to communicate herself as just a regular person, but she doesn't see herself as a regular person. She's unable to equate who she is as a person to Madonna, the thing, because she's been living the identity Madonna, like, for her entire popular life, for her entire, like, so popular existence. So when she has a social media, she's going to have trouble being a regular person. So there's celebrities like that, like, and Matthew McConaughey, like, makes some weird videos online about like how he has something up his sleeve, you know. Apparently, I only know because I watched Chris D'Elia. Like, I didn't actually watch the videos. Chris D'Elia showed this to me, same as the Madonna. But Matthew McConaughey has made these videos about like how, like, he's an actor and all this, but because he has to have an Instagram, a social media, like, he puts these videos on his Instagram about how he's like about to tell you something really interesting about himself, like, and that he's like more than just the person you see, like he's more than just the Matthew McConaughey. But to him it's like some special explanation to say that he is more than just Matthew McConaughey, the celebrity identity. Like, and so he also has trouble translating himself as a regular person because he's impressed with himself, I would say, is what that would point to. Not that I've seen many of his videos, but I'm saying just the ones that I did see would point to that he, like many celebrities, are impressed with themselves. They are impressed with what they do, which is why they're unable to translate themselves to be real people. Because if they were able to, just because you have to not be impressed with yourself to understand yourself to be just a person. You have to be not impressed with yourself. You have to not say that there's something special about this thing that you do, because like Matthew McConaughey is a major movie actor. And so he knows that everybody knows him as that. And like, that's his identity. So to him, it would be really impressive to other people for him to be able to show that he can do other stuff besides be in movies. Like, but in reality, everybody is capable of different things based on that you are a person. Like, you're a person, and so you adapt to lots of situations. Like, you being a person is really the most impressive thing about you, and it's the most interesting thing about you to other people. Like, that's what makes other people want to be around you, is that you are a person, like that you, because that's what makes you unique, is that you have a unique subjective reality, unique way that you communicate things. But like it used to, so like celebrities, somebody like Matthew McConaughey who's in big movies, like he is especially talented at being in movies. Like, and so there was a time in American history and world history where being especially talented at being in movies was the most valued thing. And so therefore, like, of course he is going to build his identity that way. And of course, like, Britney Spears is going to build her identity as like a pop star. Like, why wouldn't you? That's the most valued thing, to be that famous. Like, of course you're going to accept that identity and take that on and be like Britney Spears, the singer, to other people. And like, you get lost at some point. Like, you yourself, as long as that's the identity you take on. But like they took on that identity because the world told them that that's the most valuable thing, is to be that famous, to be the most talented singer, and to be the most talented. And like of course it's really valuable, and of course there's like to be especially that. But I think the world tends toward I think ultimately tends toward, maybe not like currently or even in the next 5 years, but I think it ultimately tends towards saying that what is most valuable is you as a person rather than you as having a special talent, because it is true that Matthew McConaughey has other things to say about himself, that he is a person beyond the identity of him being especially talented in movies. He could be especially talented in lots of different ways. He probably is. He's probably talented, and that defines his character, that he's talented. But he's not going to be able to. It's difficult. You can't just change your identity as he can't just change his identity as being in like one of the most talented actors in the world, like easily, because that's what everybody has perceived him to be. That's what everybody understands him to be. He's not going to be able to see himself as being accepted beyond like being that, or it's just going to be more difficult for him. And so at some point you get lost. Like, what goes through Taylor Swift's head now? Is it just like Pepsi commercial, like Coke commercials and money? Like she just like, it's just like, what is she at this point? Like, anyway, like, because it's that, that's what you get lost as a person the more that you just understand yourself to be the most talented singer, or you just understand your identity to be a celebrity, to be a famous person, because some people just know themselves to be celebrities. And you know that, but it's because they're impressed with themselves, and they don't like, that's what the Masked Singer is all about, is celebrities are impressed with themselves, and they think it's a big reveal. All celebrities secretly are great singers to themselves, because they're impressed with themselves and what they're like. I'm saying actors and actresses. They're like, well, they can probably also sing and dance, but like they haven't revealed that to the world. Like that's the hidden thing. Like celebrities feel like they have these hidden things about them that they're about to reveal. Like they're really important, when in reality, like they could be a great singer, but they don't realize that that's just part of like that they can be that. Like people will accept them as a great singer, but celebrities, like who are inclined to just understand themselves as actors and actresses, or like what the identity that we've given to them already, they're not going to think themselves to be accepted as being a talented singer. Also, they think that that's too transcendent or something. They think that that's like too far, like wow. And that's what the Masked Singer is about, is to show that, oh, all these celebrities like can also sing, probably. Like I'm assuming. I think that it's about that they can sing well, because from the clips and the commercials, it's always the judges like shocked at who it was, because, oh, I can't believe you, like how great you were, as it turns out that this person can also sing, or whatever. I feel like it's about giving celebrities a platform to show that they can also sing, and they have to do it through this specialized platform of a TV show. Like they can't, like through a celebrity way, through a talent way, like an entertainment platform, they have to do that to show that they're singers, because they're impressed with themselves. Like, and celebrities, like the talent, Hollywood created this show, The Masked Singer, because they know that there's like that need out there, like, or like just that. Like, do you remember when Gwyneth Paltrow, it was revealed that she could also sing? But like a lot of celebrities think that they can also sing. Like Gwyneth Paltrow is just one of the ones that's insecure enough to be like, oh, I can also sing. Like she's like, that takes guts, I guess. Apparently, I feel like it takes guts to say that, because I think a lot of celebrities think that they can sing. And like when Gwyneth Paltrow was revealed to be a great singer, it was like, oh wow, she can also sing, and Hollywood like embraced her as a singer so much, even though she just has like a pretty average voice. Like, but because she's like, oh, she can sing sort of well, but just that she, like, Hollywood loved to, at the time, and it was like in the 2000s, Hollywood loved propping her up as also a singer, because, like, wow, she's just such a transcendent personality that she can also sing. And celebrities, just, they get a limited imagination about things. People that only understand themselves to be celebrities, when they get a limited imagination about things because they only identify themselves as the thing that they were famous for. When in reality there isn't a limited imagination to have, and people are going to accept you as expressing yourself through a more unlimited imagination, which is the same as expressing yourself as your subjective reality as a person, as everything that you are. Like, people will accept you as that too, but you get a limited imagination about things if you only understand yourself to be famous in a certain area or known for a certain thing. And so I think that celebrities then have a problem translating themselves in this time, and when social media is the ruler, because now they just have to be regular people in order to continue to be famous. Like, the modern day celebrity is mostly just a regular person talking about themselves and their life, or like, that's what makes you interesting. You're not interesting based on a special talent that you have. And so that's why during this quarantine, like, celebrities are like I was watching Joe Rogan, and he said it well, that they're just revealing themselves to be dorks, sort of like that. You think that that's the sort of videos that they make to relate to people, like, doesn't relate to people, because celebrities their entire life have known themselves to be unrelatable to people, and like, that's what they bank their identity on, is that they are above other people, or they are influential, because a celebrity is, like, celebrities are influential, and we understand them to be leaders because, and above us, like, not the same as us. That's why they're a celebrity. Like, that's the heart of the definition of the word, is that they're different from you. Celebrities are different from you. They're above you, but they're above you because we've attributed some amount of influence and leadership to them for them making the sacrifices they did in order to make it big for them. Like, because that's the value in being a celebrity. Like, they sacrificed in order to do that. It's just that you used to have to risk it all a lot more to be a celebrity. And so more authority and more influence was given to celebrities before, when you had to, like, relocate to Hollywood knowing that you're probably never going to make it. But like, the people that found a pathway to make it and be famous to get to that status, like naturally, that's the relationship that we build to celebrities, is that they deserve the status because they found a way to be the leader, like, to be, they're more capable of finding a way to make it big and make it to have this valued status doing what they love, or just being an actor or an actress or a performer. Because wouldn't you love to just have a life where you don't have to work a 9-to-5 job, but you just get to be a performer? Like, everybody wants that. Or you get to be, like, and like, to some degree with athletics, like, with athletes, like, we respect them to be the athletes, because we didn't make it. And so we attribute them influence and leadership. And so, like, celebrities, you used to do that more before, like, based on the amount of sacrifice that you have to make to be a celebrity is how much we will make you out to be a celebrity, is like how much influence we'll attribute to you. But because modern day you don't have to sacrifice much to be a celebrity, it doesn't mean as much to be a celebrity. So like so being a celebrity means having a different status from other people. And so when celebrities nowadays have to try to be regular people, it's a lot of them, it doesn't work out because they haven't understood themselves to be regular people. Like, they know themselves to be like as long as they're still maintaining that they are a celebrity. Like in order for the celebrities from big movies in 1990 to 2015 to adapt to the world, they have to let go of what they were. They have to understand that they are actually just people. They can't understand themselves to have talent that exceeds everybody's expectations anymore if they want to still maintain some level of celebrity. And they have to also understand that you can't be as big a celebrity as you used to be able to be. Like they have to compromise and live at a lower level of celebrity, because in order to still be a celebrity in the world today, like people that were actors, actresses, music stars or whatever, but like because there isn't that level of unrelatability that we allow to other people anymore. And so the video that everybody hates the most during the coronavirus that was made is the Gal Gadot. The Gal Gadot is like the main point of reference for that, them singing Imagine. But like and everybody hates that because it's really out of touch with reality. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't jive with reality, and it just shows that celebrities still live in an unrelatable time. In the time when they were celebrities, when they got to be unrelatable and people liked their unrelatability and liked that they had higher statuses. People don't care about attributing a higher status to people, at least in the realm of performance anymore. And they don't, so they want to continue to maintain that. So to them, it's an acceptable thing to just make a song, Imagine, or sing Imagine to people. But like, that's exactly what they're going to do, is it not? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to be mad at it, because of course the celebrities are going to get together and sing Imagine by John Lennon. That's what they do best. They're going to sing Imagine by John Lennon, celebrities, as much as they can in any medium possible. They want to be singing it all the time. Like, I don't know why there isn't just a social media for celebrities to put their own version of singing Imagine by John Lennon on, and that's just their social media. Like, every celebrity should just have, there should be a, like, Imagine, just that's the name of the social media platform, and it's only for celebrities, and they all sing their own version of Imagine by John Lennon, because that is them. Imagine by John Lennon. That's what they know is good for people, and like it connects everybody, and they think like, well, you can't go around singing Imagine, right? We're still relevant enough to sing Imagine, because in a time gone by, you couldn't go wrong. Like, everybody accepts Imagine by John Lennon. Like, that's going to unify us. That's going to be helpful to people. And it's not so much like, and so then the celebrities get together, they sing Imagine by John Lennon, they make a video, they show it to everybody, they're proud of it. They're like, here it is. Thank you. Like, higher status, transcendence. Do you see this? We're singing John Lennon. Why don't we be above it? You know, the celebrities are trying to tell you like, hey, let's be above it. Let's be above it. We're all unified. We're still John. Don't you remember the dream of John Lennon? Like, because they live in a time gone by. Like, there will be a time when we forget about John Lennon. Like, ultimately, and that's disrespectful to say, I know. Like, the Beatles built music like rock and roll. I understand that. The Beatles are the greatest. I get that. And they are. Like, no, not ironically. They're like the greatest band. They're the greatest band ever. But the celebrities are going to get together and they're going to sing Imagine by John Lennon in your face, and they're going to share it with you. That's a pretty steady constant in this changing world, that they're going to do that. But of course, and then so it comes across as really out of touch. And also part of it is them, it's still that idea, like, I swear, every celebrity, I swear, do you understand my gumption? Like, I swear. I wasn't into that when I said I swear, and I know I wasn't. I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble sometimes being the passionate part of it. I have trouble sometimes, every once in a while, but I don't allow myself to be impassionate at any point, so I get upset at myself. You know, like I have to be more passionate. I have to be more genuine than I was. Like, don't let yourself say I swear and not mean it. You have to mean it. I put that on myself for some reason. And so it's like the Gal Gadot video, and everybody hates them for it. But now we're unified behind hating them for making that video and for having all this money while like all these problems are going on. Like, it's really out of touch. But whatever. Like, everybody's roasted and lamented them for it. And like, what else was I going to say about it? That it's that idea that they're singers too, that they're like, here we are singing, and everybody who comments on it is like, oh, also it sounded terrible, them singing badly. Like, no, they're fine. Like, they're fine at singing it. But I think the comment is, well, actually you're singing badly, just to roast them even further, because what they wanted out of it, these celebrities, was like secretly in their hearts, I believe what they also wanted out of it was for people to understand that they were also talented singers. Like, some of these people that aren't known to be singers, and there are probably some, like, there are some singers in it, but they're just like, well, we're gonna use our talents because we are talent people, and we're gonna get together, we're gonna sing this Imagine video, and people are gonna, like, and a nice side bonus for us is that people are gonna now understand us to be singers as well. And I feel like that's the kind of thing that Matthew McConaughey is getting at. Like, not that he's a singer in like the videos where he's like, here, I'm about to be this, like, you wait, like, I'm gonna show the world this is gonna be different, is what I gathered from the couple videos I saw that he posted to his Instagram. Like, what he's getting at is that he's impressed with himself. Like, and so because he's impressed with himself as he stands already, like, and because he's impressed with himself as he stands already, it'll be a big thing for him. Like, it'll be a big thing for him to say more about himself, like, or to include, like, for celebrities, it's a big thing for them to say that they're a singer. And so, like, they assume that they're going to get a great amount of feedback for now being recognized as a singer when they weren't recognized before. But like, what Matthew McConaughey wants is to be like, is for people to know that he's even more transcendent than, like, because celebrities think that they're even more transcendent than what they're already known to be, just by virtue of the fact that they're not allowed to be regular people to other people, by virtue of the fact that celebrities know that they have an unlimited imagination and are capable of more than the identities and the constructions of identity that are collectively thrown upon them. And so to them, like, they want to harness the more unlimited parts of their imagination, they want to be able to explain themselves less finitely and be less condensed to just a singular identity of being famous in one way. And so they want to express themselves more imaginatively and more infinitely than finitely and definably. But but of course they're going to have trouble doing that because they've lived their entire life as the identity. Like Bill Murray how is he going to escape from just being like Bill Murray, like the funny guy, you know, the funny guy that's in Chicago and like is in pictures with people, like, as a celebrity. He's such a celebrity, like, and that's not his fault. And he tries and he's always trying to explain that he's just a person by being in pictures and just being at bars with people, because that's what he's known for, is like, oh, he'll just go to the bar and be a regular person. But he can't escape from, like, and that's got to really be terrible for them, for celebrities. Like, Bill Murray can't escape from that. Oh, Bill Murray was at the bar, because he's Bill Murray, the famous person. He's never just Bill Murray. He's Bill Murray, the famous person that shows up in photographs. Like, he can't escape from him, and that sucks for him. And I feel like Steve Carell is like, if you have seen him in interviews lately, he's just like so pissed about the whole thing. Like, about about that everybody heaps all this love and praise on him for his performance in The Office. I think he probably, like, he really wants to just maintain that he's a person, but everybody just makes him out to be a god, like, because of his performance in The Office. And he's all defensive, like, he's just like uptight and irritated if he does interviews now, like more so than he used to be. You can recognize, because he used to just have fun to be like, oh, he like made it and whatever. But like, I think he's just kind of like hacked off about the whole thing now, at least a little bit. I'm sure he like loves it. I'm sure, but I don't think he wants to just be recognized as Michael Scott as part of it too. He probably considers himself to be a more serious and like adaptable actor than that, and like he is, like he's more talented, like he can produce a lot of stuff. But he also, like, before being famous for The Office and during it, like always maintains that he's a nobody. That's what he's always saying to people, like he's just like he doesn't have anything to say, which is really interesting. So I think he has problems with that people make him out to be more than a person. He just wants to maintain that he's a person, and like that's probably what Bill Murray wants to do too, just by showing up and like being that. But unfortunately for him, people just make it out to be like, oh, haha, he's like a fun caricature that shows up in our pictures and shit. Like, that's too bad for Bill Murray. How long did I do? 51 minutes? Whatever. I'm done. That's that. That's all that I needed. And so if I have anything else to add, are there any more thoughts to add? Like, if the Lord caused me to speak more about celebrities, if it's in my heart to speak more, if it's on my heart, what else is on my heart today to say about the celebrities? You know, like One Love. You know that? Do you know about One Love? It's all one love. Do you hear about two loves? And like the coronavirus, like nobody wants to hear about the coronavirus. I'm like, we're just like, go away. Please go away, the coronavirus. Like, probably especially Americans in my head probably really don't like to deal with it in comparison to other countries. We're just like, this isn't, we don't like it. Like, we all hate this virus, you know that? Everybody hates it. Like, it's not just like, oh, we're in quarantine, ha ha. We're like we're under the umbrella of this awful thing. Like, we hate it, right? And so I can't fucking wait for it to be done. Like, and it's awful. It's not anything besides terrible, and there's just bad. There's bad in the world, and you kind of there's bad things. Sometimes there's times in your life where things are just bad. Whatever. But it's like, it'll end eventually, and it's bad for, like, whatever. That's my, like, whatever. Twitter, like, I'm on Twitter, you know? I don't go on Twitter, and now it's just like, now I'm on Twitter. Like, I follow like 40 people, and it's like 2% of the people make 100% of the tweets. And I read them. Like, and I'm like, okay. It's just, yeah, yep, yeah. Whatever. I'm on Twitter. I don't like that there's like, now I'm just looking at Twitter. I'm looking up chloroquine, and seeing what chloroquine is doing on Twitter all the time. That's all that I'm doing. That's what I've been reduced to. That's all I can do. Is chloroquine working? I've been tracking it for the last 2 weeks. Is chloroquine working? Whatever. Thanks for listening. Is chloroquine working though? Is chloroquine working? Yeah. Hydroxychloroquine. And everybody's like if you followed the trajectory of this chloroquine deal, like I did, because I heard about it like last week Monday. I think it was last week Monday that Trump tweeted that chloroquine is a game changer. Like, he tweeted, chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine is a game changer in this, and he tweeted that after the results. Let me explain this to you with chloroquine, what's going on. Okay. Trump tweeted chloroquine with this Arisma, whatever, antibiotic. I'm not sure if he tweeted that, but he tweeted chloroquine is a game changer after this study came out in France from this apparently really famous, this famous virologist, Didier Raoult or something, French doctor, famous French doctor, did a study that chloroquine with an antibiotic, something that starts with an A, is really effective against the virus, against the coronavirus. And Trump, after that study, tweeted that it's a game changer. But the media, in reaction to that, said Trump is an idiot for saying that. And every news outlet, like if you didn't go on Twitter, if you just got your media, if you just were looking up chloroquine media on Google, every article, most of them, like every news outlet, put out a story about the man in Arizona who took a fish tank cleaner that contained chloroquine and died from it once Trump tweeted that. And they're blaming Trump for saying that it's a game changer. But their main take on Trump's tweet, all the media outlets, is that, well, you can't say that. You can't have your confidence in this because we need more results. We need more trials to be published, which is fair. You know, we need more trials to be published before you can say that. But obviously Trump is going to do that because that's what he does, right? Of course, he's like the masculine force and the trusting, like he just trusts that it worked, and he's just going to say, okay, yeah, it works. I believe in this guy. He just believes it right away, you know? He just like puts faith in it. He's not the feminine force, the containing force, the force that needs rules to be in place, to be set up like for the distribution of this information. Like information needs to be validated and rationalized and be known, and like in order for us to say that it's true. But Trump is like, yeah, it's true, because he doesn't care about the world that he lives in. He doesn't see authorities so much. He's not contained by authority. He's not going to consider all the rules and steps you have to go through to say that something is true. And so he tweeted that, but that's just like a masculine versus feminine dynamic, and that's just going to happen, and neither one of them is better than the other. Of course, the media outlets are feminine. They're the containing force in the world today, and we need that check up on it. We need them to check on things, whatever. And so he tweeted that this is a game changer, and so the world freaked out. The media outlets freaked out. You can't say that, and they hated them. And after like 6 days, there hadn't been any new chloroquine information because they're still like running new trials to confirm the first trial. And so after 6 days in, the media outlets were just like, well, Trump is a liar and an awful person for saying this, and he's actually to blame for the entire virus, and like, you know, stuff like that. But then the French doctor did another trial and used more patients this time and got the same results. That like 97.5% of the people that used the combination of drugs, the chloroquine, or like I think it was hydroxychloroquine and then the antibiotic, reduced like entirely the positive cells of coronavirus that they had, like were turned into negatively containing coronavirus cells. And so that came out, and then they sanctioned chloroquine for use in a few countries right after that study. In France and in a couple European countries, they sanctioned it for use right away. And then the next day, the FDA approved it for use in America. So it's like America is on the path, like a day later, of pretty much sanctioning it for use. They sanctioned it for use once it was approved by the FDA. But all the media outlets are totally against chloroquine, and there's all these people on Twitter like, don't listen to it. There's no studies backing it up. But then there's also people like, well, it's the only thing that we have, so why don't we try it? Which is what I'm on the side of. I totally agree with Trump on it. Like, you should try to put your confidence in it when we don't have any other thing to fix the virus, and like, you should try it out or whatever. Like, this guy is a renowned virologist, and there are news outlets then trying to shit on this doctor in France and say that he's known for making shit up, which is a total lie, you know. And also another thing to note is that there is a study from the there is a study published in a medical journal in 2005 that, like, it's a medical journal. It's like the CDC and the FDA knows about these journals, like, and this article that's published is the exact kind of thing that they wanted for, like, there to be a new trial or new information on if chloroquine worked. Like, this article is exactly what they would have wanted, but it was published in 2005 and said that chloroquine is entirely effective against, it's an article published saying that chloroquine is effective against coronaviruses in 2005, the COVID-1, and, like, this one is just the COVID-2, but the COVID-2 is like 95% identical to the COVID-1. So they should have already acknowledged that chloroquine is effective based on this article. And once a trial came out, like, they should have already acknowledged that, so they could have rolled it out faster. So these groupings, like the FDA and the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control, because they're groups and need a greater level of validation, like, than just trusting the doctor, trusting regular people, individuals, trusting individual authority. These group authorities, it takes longer for them to roll out that it's acceptable to administer these drugs, because it takes longer for them. But it's unfortunate, that they weren't keen enough to see that, to make that link based on the paper that was already run. Anyway, so that's the rollout. And then, like, so about Monday is when the FDA did that and said chloroquine is acceptable for use, and now they're using it on people, and I actually don't know what the results are. I don't know what the results are, and maybe it doesn't, like, it should work. Like, there's a lot of story, whatever, I have any idea. I'm just telling you, like, I have any idea. It should work. I'm just telling you the trajectory of the media coverage of it, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But I'm on the side of, see if chloroquine works. Just try it out. And so that is the podcast that I made. And believe it or not, that's that. I will do something else now. Good see you later to you.